Joining us live in the newsroom, we have our legal analyst, Chris Tritico, our news analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So do you think a less generous firefighter pension plan would actually help ease the budget crisis?
Well, according to the city's budget people, not immediately. If this passes in the first year, the city expects to save $1 million. But over the next 2 decades, as more people move into the new system and retire out of the old system, they expect to save $110 million over the next 2 decades. The problem is the city needs help today, not 20 years from now. And so they've got to find a way to ease this budget problem. The mayor is using the firefighters as the way to go at this. It's one small part of the situation that they need to deal with, but that's where we are. Mustafa Tamiz, the mayor says if the legislature won't help me and the firefighters won't deal with me, I'm just going to propose a whole new system. It's going to cause her to get sued for the 3rd time by the firefighters.
And it's a symbolic gesture more than a practical gesture, but this is the only thing that the mayor and the city council can do. The firefighters' pension is under the state legislature. Until the state legislature acts, nothing is going to change. And so with this, it's more of an acknowledgement of the problem and seeing what they can do within their own jurisdiction.
The city has 3 pension systems, the police, the municipal workers, and the firefighters. The police and the municipal workers have already redone their systems. Firefighters are the only ones left.
And one thing I want to touch on, it was stated that one of the things that the city wants to do is to have local control. Well, during the 2013 legislative session, this particular item did come up, and no one from the city, including the mayor, spoke in positively of trying to bring it locally, to have local control. So to say it's the state's fault when the issue actually did come up during the session, but then you didn't even testify, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Now, the percentage that this is going to, this part of the budget is maybe 9%. So as you said in your opening statements, it's a very small problem, a very small resolution, especially
today,
in the very near future.
Right.
So the Firefighters Relief Fund, they're already threatening, if this proposal is made, they're already threatening to sue. So the mayor in response is saying, well, if you don't do that, then you'll probably lose 300 jobs. And so you're going to see that continued—
Pick your poison.
Right, that continued tug of war between the two.
All right, I want to go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
All right, let's take a look at what folks are saying on Twitter this morning. Merritt says, leave the HFD pension alone. And then here's a tweet from our own reporter, Greg Grugan, who covered this story earlier in the week. He's tweeting, Mayor Parker says that a less generous pension will not impact firefighter recruitment and retention in Houston. That's what the mayor said there in her news conference. Do you agree with that it will not impact firefighter recruitment and retention?
You know, the mayor said that if you want to be a firefighter and you get through our school, you'll be highly qualified and you're going to be a firefighter. And there may be some truth to that. Now, Brian Sky-Eagle, the president of the firefighter union, said that's just wrong, that what will happen is they'll go through our school and they'll go somewhere with a more generous pension. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I tend to agree with Mayor Parker that people who say that I want to be a fireman, they're going to be a fireman and they're not really worried. In your 20s, you're not really worried about what's going to happen in your 60s. And so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah. Well, I think the broader issue is what we have to look at is how do we compensate municipal, police, fire, and workers overall.
And not bankrupt the city at the same time.
Oh, because I think that our compensation structures are outdated. We have these structures where we used to give these long, pensions, so when you retire you would have something, because we didn't live as long. Now that we're living longer, I think we have to look at how we compensate people and pay them more now than in pension benefits.
At a budget meeting, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're almost out of time. At a budget meeting, Councilman Larry Green, talking with the president of the Firefighters Fund, said, we don't want to be like Detroit. And Mr. Clark responded, the best thing you can do is just come up with the money. It's not my job to balance the city's budget. Shouldn't there be some flexibility on both sides to come up with a long-term resolution?
Sure, there needs to be, but again, you've seen the tug-of-war that's been going on between the mayor's and her administration and the fire department. So first of all, they have such a contentious relationship that neither one really wants to see the other side.
And it may be the next mayor that has to fix it.
And I do disagree with what the mayor is saying, because one of the things that a lot of these people in public safety, they're risking their lives to help us. They will do it because of the great the compensation plan that's in
You don't
place.
make a lot today,
You
we're going to take care of you in the
right.
future.
And for them to say, oh, it's not going to impact who's coming into the firefighter school, that's not true.
That's a good point. We're going to leave it right there. And the simple fact of the matter is this mayor may not be able to do it because of her very contentious relationship with the firefighters union. We'll see where it goes, Sally.